going on, Saggies? Welcome back to the channel, Elevated Spirits. It's Jazzy, your reader for today. This is going to be your spiritual journey message. See how you guys are doing, what may be challenging you at this time, how the challenge is helping you, what Spirit wants you to focus on, some advice. All right, so I am going to do like I did for Leo. I really enjoyed how that reading went, the way I did it, by basically doing a part 1 and 2. So the first part is going to be oracle messages for each question, and then I'm going to clarify on part 2 with the tarot. So with the part 2 though, I'm going to clarify with tarot, and what else was I going to say? Anyway, I can't remember. So for those of you that are, the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want it to be just one super long reading, but just in case those of you get the messages that you may have needed in the first reading, you may not need to watch the second. But for those of you that are interested in tapping a little bit deeper into the message, then you're free to watch the second part as well. So at some point though, I may start doing the second part though, especially when the readings are long like that. I think I might also start doing, just so you guys are aware, I'm not sure yet. I have to still, discuss it with my team first, but I might do the part 2s on like Patreon or something like that. So we'll see. But for now, I'm gonna just do them as a part 2 here on the YouTube channel. So for those of you that are interested, feel free to check that out. For those of you that are interested in booking a private consultation, checking out my your other elements playlist, checking out my Etsy wish list, donating to the channel, all that information will be found in the description box of every single one of my videos below. So let's get into this for Sag. I hope you guys are doing good, doing your best to stay as balanced and energetically present and uplifted as possible, because the shit is not easy. From what I saw as well, those of you who are energetically sensitive, you may have felt it. Schumann's resonance was like up to 120, I believe, and like at a normal rate it's supposed to be at 8, so being at 120 is a very, very high jump. It should not have been that high. So let's see. So Spirit, how's Sag doing on their spiritual journey? How are they doing? Where are they at currently? All right, self-expression, water. So card 26, some of you may be 26, you may be born on the 26th, life path 26. That number may have some sort of significance to you. So I feel like some of you are in this energy, Sag, of really tapping into your throat chakra. Some of you are maybe doing throat chakra cleansing. If you haven't, you're maybe needing to. It's probably a really, really good idea. I feel like some of you are definitely in this energy of really not being able to, I feel like where you may have been able to bite your tongue with certain people or maybe in certain circumstances, I feel like you guys are in this space right now where that's not possible. I feel like your soul is, because your soul is going through an awakening right now, there's parts of you that are being called back. There's parts of you that have maybe been hiding dormant that are being awakened at this time, and now you're being positioned to express this stuff, however it's coming out. You guys are in this energy of maybe, and it could be coming by way of a challenge like that, or it could be for some of you coming by way of you're just naturally being kind of like guided, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, I don't know, all of a sudden I have this urge to draw, I have this urge to sing more, to now I have this interest in learning a certain instrument, or something, you know what I'm saying, some way of expressing yourself in some type of way, or maybe you're like, all of a sudden, like you want to do karaoke every week, or you want to go do slam poetry or something like that. Like some of you are all of a sudden being guided to write a book, right? Like me, I'm guided to pick back up the books that I started writing and actually, get them published. So I feel like some of you are in this energy right now of really finding maybe different ways to express yourself. This could be, like I said, by creative ways, or this could also be where, around certain people, certain connections that some of you have, you're needing to speak up where things that you used to maybe let slide, you're not able to let that slide no more. Or some of you have been kind of like in this people-pleasing energy. I feel like some of you Sages you're not able to do that anymore. Like your soul is putting you into like this energy of where I feel like some of you are like being forced to step into your truth, to step into your power in some type of way, where it's not your, I feel like some of you have kind of maybe just trying to coast it, trying to like take your time to get to it, right? Some of you are kind of like being like, no, it's time to fucking, like, some of you are being like, I'm seeing like being shoved off a cliff, or, you know what I'm saying? Like some of you are really like, universe is really forcing, like really pushing you guys to, you know, express yourself, to do whatever this is at this time. Okay, Spirit, what is challenging the Saggies right now? What is potentially challenging Saggies at this time? Discernment. So some of you, things aren't what they seem, and some of you are, it's like some of you energetically know that something isn't right, something isn't just, it's like you can't really maybe put your finger on it. It's like something you're not able to maybe really see clearly. Some of you may not have all the information, and this is where Spirit is asking you, is really wanting you to discern if it's a fear or if it's your intuition, if it's your mind or is it your ego. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be able to differentiate between, you know, what this energy is that some of you are being presented, and then that's going to help you make the decision that is best for you. Okay, I feel like maybe by allowing yourself to express, you know, why you feel a certain way will help you discern. Okay, by maybe saying it out loud, or expressing this to a person, if this is, you know, dealing with like a connection or someone that you're dating, something like that. It's like Spirit wants you to get aligned. It's like get aligned to your energy center, and that's where I feel like whatever cloudiness that some of you may be feeling right now, that'll be cleared away, because there is a new beginning here. Okay, this card is a 10. The 0 is infinite, so the 0 never ends. So the 1 represents a new start. So the 9 is really the ending, not 10. 9 is the ending. 10 represents a new start. So some of you are definitely coming into new beginnings, new starts. Interesting. At the bottom here is abundance. Card 38. 38 may be of significance. Some of you may be 38 years old. But this card also, 38 reduces to an 11. So some of you, this is like portal energy, where you're like maybe walking through a portal, like getting, you know, having an opportunity or path being presented that's going to take you to the next level of your journey. Okay, maybe the most abundant part of your journey. So let's see, Spirit for Sag, what is this challenge preparing for? What is this challenge preparing them? How is this challenge helping Sagittarius? What is it preparing them for? Clarifying messages for Sagittarius. Candles, magic. So some type of maybe incantation some of you have done. Okay, for some of you, this is something that was done to you. There may have been some spell work done to try to cloud your judgment, to maybe confuse you in some type of way, elude you in some type of way. So some of you are, you know, or to make it confusing about, you know, some type of creative project, some way you wanted to express yourself. So maybe the best way to do it is like someone maybe have, you know, done that to confuse you in some type of way. Okay, but for others of you, I feel like this is talking about, for those of you that are maybe looking to see like if you need to do any spell work, because this did come out of reverse. I just don't read these in reverse, but I will for this, you know, for this reading. But like I'll give you that message as well. What I was getting from that is that the challenge is discernment. Okay, some of you are feeling, you know, kind of like confused about if or not maybe you need to do spell work, because it came in reverse. So I could say, you know, that some of you are kind of like discerning on whether or not you need to do it, and I feel like some of you are going to see that it's preparing you to see that you don't need to do anything at all. Maybe your intention, maybe you just saying it out loud, right, through self-expression, maybe by you just setting the intention, which it makes sense because intention is everything. You can have all the tools in the world, but if your intention is not in alignment with what it is you're asking for, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter what tools you have or how many of them you have. Your intention is everything. That's where the power lies. So I feel like some of you Sagittarius, where you're kind of maybe trying to discern, or, you know, maybe running yourself ragged about what candle do I use, what color, what day, all these details, where some of you are just needing to know that you don't even need any of that. All you need is your word. All you need to do is ask. All you need to do is say what it is that you want. You don't need candles. You don't need, you know, to use magic. I believe in magic. I'm a magician myself, so don't get it twisted. But I feel like for some of you Sagittarius, that I feel like that's a message for some of you. You have people looking out for you in the ethers. You have guardians and angels and, you know, maybe spirit familiar beings that are around you helping you at this time. So I feel like for some of you where you may have been kind of like concerned or worried about like how do I do this when I need this? Some of you don't need it, because when our ancestors was going through stuff and they needed certain things they didn't have, guess what they did? They made it fucking work, right? They were resourceful. So some of you are being guided to just be resourceful, meaning use what you have. If all you have is your voice, if all you have is your ability to sing, to express, to say what it is, to maybe use your gift of gab for some of you, you know, whatever that is, use that. If that's all you have to use is the way you express yourself, then that's where your gift lies. For some of you, you needed to know that, where you've been kind of like confused about what is my gift. Some of you, it's in your voice. It's in the way you express yourself. It's in the way that maybe you connect to water, that maybe the way you connect to your emotions, maybe how tapped in you are to your emotions, which allows you to tap into other people's emotions, right? Maybe you have a gift of, you know, maybe being able to feel something that someone's feeling, but they have a hard time putting it into words. Some of you may have a gift to do that, to maybe express something, be like a channel to express something that a person maybe can't say, they can't articulate the words to express it themselves. Maybe you do that. Maybe you connect to their energy to feel what they're feeling and be able to say it, verbalize it for them. Some of you, that's a whole gift that you have. Holy shit. Wow. All right, Spirit. So what's the opportunity? What opportunity is opening up for Sag? Wow. What opportunity or what's coming towards Sag? What's the opportunity? What's coming towards Sag during this time, Spirit? This reading is intended for when you see it and about 30 days out, okay? It is timeless, so whenever you see it is when it is meant for you, all right? That is the intention. I said all my readings are timeless except for ones that are date specific, like new and full moon readings. Those are typically date specific for whatever particular new and full moon that I read it for. So, but this one here is whenever you find it, because we're all on different timelines. Some of us delay certain things, certain timelines, or certain events are delayed. So whenever you come across this is when it's meant for you. All right. So family. For some of you, there's an opportunity here for you to maybe start your own family if that's what you've been wanting. For some of you, this has to do with healing, which I was going to say that anyway, but then looking at the bottom, healing is here. So for some of you, this has to do with healing some type of family wound, some type of family, you know, pattern. I'm not going to say a curse, but if you believe in curse, you know, if that's what you want to subscribe to, then, you know, take it as you will, right? But I personally I choose to no longer subscribe to my family being cursed. Even if that is, you could say that's what happened. I just choose to not say that. It's a little bit more difficult to remove curses, and it's all based on what you believe. So if I choose to not believe it, then it's not so, period. That's how I see it. So anyway, my point is though, is there's an opportunity here, I feel like, to heal something in your family. Maybe your family has had some type of history of maybe not expressing themselves, not being able to maybe articulate their words. And I feel like for some of you Saggies, you are, you know, this like cycle breaker, okay, for your generation, where some of you, this like the buck stops with you, where whatever this is that you're breaking, whatever it is that maybe you're, you know, deciding, maybe that's part of maybe a cycle that you're breaking in itself, is your family may have had like a history of, you know, always putting their power into a tool, into a candle, or into something outside of themselves. And you guys are maybe breaking the cycle of where it's like, you know what, I don't have any of those things. Maybe I can't afford any of those things. All I have is my word. All I have is my ability to, you know, say what it is that I want and express myself in such a way that heals instantly, or that manifests my, you know, what I ask for instantly. Some of you, that could be a power that you have, where you're starting to see clearly that, you know, others may have tried to confuse you or elude you or make you feel like you're not as powerful as you are. Some of you it's being made clear to you that, motherfucker, I don't need candles. I have everything I need within the way I express myself, the way I do my magic, the way I, you know, say that affirmation, or the way you do whatever it is that you do, Sag. Okay, you guys are realizing that you don't need maybe what you thought you needed, what others maybe made you try to make you feel like you needed. You just need to trust yourself. That's what discernment is about, is trusting the guidance that you need to know what to do next, to what you need, what you don't need, what to allow in, what to release. Discernment, being able to see things clearly for yourself. For some of you, this is like people not wanting to see. Some of you, this is something you maybe didn't want to see, and that could be why it's challenging you. Or some of you don't want to maybe let the fog go. But for some of you, it's like this is happening to show you where your power lies. Okay. Where some of you aren't realizing, like, that's the key to the freedom, to free maybe your ancestors, to maybe free your whole blood lineage from whatever this cycle is by you allowing yourself to look through the clouds, to let the fog, dissolve, let the clouds be cleared and see something clearly, see it for what it is. I feel like some of you aren't willing to see, maybe that's a pattern, like something you were taught, to not see how strong you are, how powerful you are, how much of a healer some of you really are. But you have to be willing to heal yourself first to see that that's even possible for you. I had to do that personally. And that's when I learned that I know that I can do psychic surgery. And I've only shared that story once since it's happened. And that happened, I want to say, earlier this year. So, if it wasn't for me going to the doctor and them not finding what I found, right, then us not having the same, result, I wouldn't have been sent home and up to, left to my own devices, which is basically my magic, right? Setting my intention, and did it for myself instantly and felt it. And yeah, I wouldn't have known though, had that not played out how it did. I wouldn't have known that I was able to do that. So I feel like for some of you, something is happening how it's supposed to show you that you don't need what you thought you needed. You don't need the tools that you thought you needed. You are the tool. For some of you, you're the way you express yourself, the way you talk, the way you do something, your own unique blueprint, like your own unique fingerprint. That for some of you is what is the gift here. That is the gift. Something maybe, I feel like, and it makes sense though, because you give the tools magic. Whatever, for those of you that are practitioner as well, we essentially give our tools the power. You know what I'm saying? You fuck up when you decide and give more meaning to the tool than you have within yourself. When you decide that the tool is more powerful than you, than your own intention, that's where you mess up, because you gave your power away. That's how magic works. So I feel like some of you are starting to see that your power is by way of the way you express yourself, through your words, through your tongue, through your voice, through your throat chakra. That's also your center of decision making. The decisions we make and don't make. That is by way of expressing yourself, acting based on the knowledge that you have. That's what acknowledging is. So some of you, that is what this is about. That your way of self-expression is where your power lies. And that could be either to your benefit or to your detriment. So it's going to be important for you to discern, okay? Make sure you're allowing yourself to look at things that need to be looked at so you can protect yourself, okay? For some of you, it's like candles and magic. Maybe it won't help with this. For certain things, magic sometimes doesn't work. You have to sometimes rely solely on self. And for some of you, that is what this is positioning you to do. To really rely on, how do you decide this plays out by way of how you express yourself? How do you react? How do you respond? Right? What decision do you make? And not making a decision at all is also a decision in itself, right? The same way no is a complete sentence, making no decision at all is the same as making a decision. So it means that it has a consequence as well. So what opportunity is presenting itself, Spirit, for Sag? It's coming towards Sag. What opportunity is presenting themselves? So we have Lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. So this is again about believing in yourself, stepping into this lion energy, harnessing your own inner power, your own inner strength like you never have before. Okay, that's the opportunity here, where you're having maybe an opportunity to empower yourself, or maybe some of you are being put in a position to where you're needing to speak your truth, and it's going to be up to you. Maybe some of you are trying to discern. Maybe that's where the challenge is. You're trying to discern on what exactly to say, how to say it. I feel like I feel like you need to trust. You need to trust the process. Trust that your guidance knows what to do. You just have to set the intention. You just have to express your intention. Speak it out loud, what it is that you want, how you want things to go. And then trust that it'll happen. You don't need to burn a candle for that. Okay? It's preparing you to see that you don't need certain tools for what you need, because you're powerful on your own. Okay? world. Be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. So for some of you, this is closing out a cycle where, like I said, some of you are seeing that maybe you've been putting your power outside of yourself. And once you take your power back, you position yourself to celebrate everything that you've been asking for, realizing that I was the power the whole time. I was the magic the whole time, not the candle. It was me. Some of you Sagittarius are seeing how powerful you are by realizing you were the magic the whole time. Your words, maybe your words are healing. Maybe your words heal other, oh my God. Maybe your words heal other people. Okay? For some of you, that is what this is. Celebrations, you are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Okay? So, wow, this is powerful, Sag. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this reading here. And some of you may be dealing with a Leo. You may have Leo in your chart with this lion energy here. You may want to check out that reading I just did. There were part 1 and 2. So, and a couple of the messages that came up there came up here, came out here as well. So if you're so guided, you may want to check that reading out as well. But I'm gonna take this over to part 2 and clarify this with the tarot. Okay, so if you're wanting to, this reading is resonating so far, I would really appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. Consider subbing if you have not, and go ahead and check out part 2 that I'm